I found that interesting, coming from Oklahoma State, last name Holiday, no relation.
Yes.
Well, you had to look though, didn't you?
Yes, absolutely.
And then we got Pittsburgh last.
I do. I think the dark magic is over. I think it's over. I don't think Mike Tomlin can just continually being that team that wins 9 or 10 games and makes it into the playoffs every year. It's done. It's gone.
He's won 17 years in a row.
Yep, it's not happening. The dark magic's done. This year, though, I've got to win 7 games.
Oh, we struggle in all aspects of school.
Yeah.
We had PE down. That's about it.
And
He and
I was really good.
That has stayed true to form, hasn't it?
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine.
Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Benchwarmer Basement Banner. We've got a little different setup here today for you guys. Our lovable discount double check co-host, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, he's not in the building, so we have got a very, very reliable fill-in, near and dear to our heart. You want to show him the...
No, I did it
No?
last time.
No? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. This your Wabash debut? Is that right? We do so many shows.
I'm not sure.
You were on here for College Football and Olympics.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
I was
so-
on for that. So
Yes.
But
so
Stat Guy
the
is
Stat
here,
Guy.
not just being Stat Guy.
In the flesh.
I'm here in front of the camera today. So
Show him that beautiful mug.
yeah, if you want to say that.
Yeah. I gotta give it to you. Looking pretty good for 32 now. Happy
I
birthday, by
know,
the way.
thank you,
Belated
thank
birthday. Yeah. So, hello Wabash TV, YouTube, TikTok, all that good stuff.
Yeah, make sure to follow us on everything. Subscribe, like, comment. If you think Woody looks like crap, go ahead and tell him on there.
It's
Whatever
merited.
you want.
Hey, I still got a tan from vacation.
You do have the
Not doing
tan
too
going
bad.
on,
That's,
yeah.
I got one thing going. That's about it. Beginning and end. So, but no, we're on here. We're gonna talk something very near and dear and passionate to our hearts. Might make us nerds, but we
Well,
we love some fantasy football.
Yes, we do.
Who
We-
doesn't?
It's so fun. It's the best fantasy sports
It's-
to play
yeah, it really
because
is.
you only have to worry about it like twice a week.
You don't have to check it every day. That
Yeah,
kills
you
me on baseball.
You
from
got
time
the
to time.
waiver wire and then set
Yeah.
your lineup and you're good.
Yeah, it's that good old American way. Make it nice and easy and
Yes.
have a little fun with it. So, and now, for me, I was a St. Louis Rams fan back in the day, and gosh dang, they sucked. So when your team's losing every Sunday, at least you have a team that
Well,
can maybe win.
you would have had Steven Jackson, who is
Yeah, absolutely.
one of the most
He
underrated
was a
running
top-
backs ever,
Steven
in my
Jackson and their
opinion.
2 wins a year.
Yeah, but that guy was a stud. If they didn't have him, they'd have went 0 for every year.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I was hoping, was it last year, 2 years of his career, he went to Atlanta with
Yes.
the Matty Ice.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I became a Falcons fan for a hot minute just
Yeah.
so he'd get a ring.
He deserved it big
Didn't
time.
happen. Yeah, let's start a petition back. Steven Jackson rings. You carried the mail.
If you
for
ever
St. Louis.
feel like watching some highlights, go watch his. It's fun.
And you feel for those linebackers that tried to
Oh,
tackle
gosh,
him
yes.
one-on-one. He literally was a battery ram.
Yes.
No pun intended there. But no, we're going to go ahead and jump into this. We're going to talk fantasy football. We're going to break down our favorites at the 4 main positions.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, there is also kickers and defense. We'll talk a little bit of that at the end. but
Maybe.
It's going to be a little bit.
Those aren't near as important.
Who needs that?
Unless you get Justin Tucker.
Well, it starts unless you're my wife and take Justin Tucker in the 3rd round. Shout out, sweetie.
Justin Tucker's a stud.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. She's done that and finished mid-pack. It's quite impressive.
Yeah.
It really is. But I don't recommend her strategy of Mahomes, Kelsey, kicker. Don't recommend that top 3 picks, but it seems to work
Yeah.
for her. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead. We're going to start with our quarterbacks. And I'll tell you what, we have an episode on YouTube that we went very in-depth.
Yes.
Like, we went down, I think, for quarterbacks 1 through 30, receivers through 60, and so on.
Yep, that was with another special guest.
Yes,
so,
Mr. Austin
Mr.
Gibbs.
Austin Gibbs.
Yeah.
So shout out Gibbs.
Yeah, so thank you. And if you want to see that full list, check it out on YouTube.
Yep. So that was a YouTube exclusive. This
Yes.
is for you Wabash people.
That's right.
We,
You're
we wanted to
special
give
too.
you some love
That's right.
on the
We
fantasy
love,
football.
We love all our
anyways.
fans. So we're gonna. This one isn't as in depth. We're gonna basically hit top 10 at quarterback, and we'll go on positions kind of prorated like that. So I'm gonna give you. You want me to give him my top 10?
Go ahead.
At quarterback. All right, here we go. Here
I'll
goes my-
critique.
And absolutely, you're going to be very good at that, I'd say. Because right off the bat, where's my Chiefs at? I'm sorry, guys, real quick here. Oh, yeah, this is necessary. This is my one and only homer pick for the night, and it's a doozy. I got Patty Mahomes at number
I
one.
knew you would. I knew you would. And we have butted heads in past on this on them. Now I'm not doubting Patrick Mahomes at all.
Yes, is it the number one?
He is a stud.
Yes, he's great.
But the number one is kind of tough. He doesn't do,
The rushing
the
upside
rushing
isn't there.
upside is not there of the other guys.
I have some logic though.
I know you do.
For it, but
let's hear it.
all right, well, I've got here. I'll do my rankings real quick, okay? I got Mahomes at number one, Jalen Hurts, there's your rushing quarterback,
Yeah.
number two. Right behind him, Josh Allen, 3, Lamar Jackson, 4. And right
Yep.
there's my top tier, okay? I think those are the top 4 guys.
They're in a whole nother tier.
I could understand them getting flip-flopped around that.
Yeah,
It's
for
personal
sure.
preference.
Yep.
Will I be drafting those? I don't know about that. Mahomes, possibly, because he's the lowest rated of these guys.
Yeah.
If he falls, I'm not a guy to take quarterback first round, anything crazy like that.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Okay,
I
you're the
don't.
same.
Yeah, I'm not going to unless one's just right there and
Yeah.
I don't see anybody that makes sense. I might do it, but
Right, there are circumstances.
yeah, I think last year I had Watson in both of mine, which
Okay.
did not
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
Obviously,
Didn't time that massage parlor,
Yeah.
Deshaun. So I've done the same. I went Trevor Lawrence one year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Dak. Just an example of where they go.
Yeah.
I usually like the 6 to 7 range rushing guys. I used to draft Watson all the time in the Houston days.
that would have been lot better.
I love when you ran the
Yeah,
ball.
he was
Yeah.
good there. He was a stud in fantasy and on the football.
And on the
field.
field, yeah. If they get that again, Cleveland's set. But I don't think it's coming back.
No.
But that's the top 4, okay? After that, this next tier, C.J. Stroud, 5. I'm higher on Kyler Murray.
Kyler
For
could have a
great.
pretty big year. I could
Yeah.
see that happening. As we talked on the YouTube one, Gibbs loved him this year. He
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
tell why.
Well,
He's
given
got
where he's going in draft, 7th, 8th round. That's great value.
He's not going to be picked very high. He's got McBride, who he did great with last year. He's got the generational prospect, son of a
Yeah,
Hall
give
of
me some
Famer,
Marvin
Jr.
Yeah, their
you know,
defense stinks too.
yeah,
like we've
they're-
talked about game flow.
Yeah,
Don't
the
be
game
throwing.
flow is going to go for them.
He can still run. He
He's
just
still
gotta.
a toddler that stole your phone and won't give it back to you.
I like that.
That's what he is. That's how it looks.
Hey, little Frodo running around. Little Fro will go. I
Yeah.
guess that's what it is. But he does. He brings that rushing upside. They got Zay Jones too. Just got suspended.
Yeah,
but
that
they
him
still-
getting suspended does hurt a
a
little,
bit, but it looks good if you're drafting Marvin Harrison. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But
I think it was going to look good regardless.
I agree. I know. I agree.
For that man.
They've got that Wilson kid out there. Like they've got.
Yeah, I
talent.
forgot about him. Yeah.
Yeah, and they throw to Connor quite a bit
They-
at the backfield.
Yes.
Like they've got talent around him, and their defense stinks. So I like that. After him, you got Anthony Richardson, 7.
That's a big boomer bust right there.
Yeah, well,
If-
that's
if
what I've
you're-
got. I'm sorry, he's going higher. Actually,
Yeah.
he's. I
He-
think.
I think he's 4th or 5th. I
He's
think he might be 5th
After that top
overall.
4. Yeah.
And I mean, he's just probably the biggest boomer bust on
Yes,
the quarterback.
absolutely.
There's not
All
been
the
an
talent in the
athletic
world.
quarterback like him. I mean,
No.
he might
Well,
be.
he's
I think
Cam
he's
Newton
more
with better arm talent.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Better
and he
arm
might be a
talent.
little more athletic than Cam.
He might be. He might
And,
be.
you know,
Question is durability.
It
You
is
saw that
durability.
last year.
I believe in Shane Steichen.
I do too.
really do.
Yeah, yeah.
That he's and
I like
Richardson,
that.
what he played last year, he looked good, and he should only be better.
Well, look what Steichen did with Hurts. Seriously, he
that's-
wasn't even as highly rated.
Steichen may have been, Eagles last year fell off and they lost the offensive coordinator
Yeah.
and the defensive
Yeah.
coordinator. And I
Jalen
think,
Hurts looked lost at times
Yes,
last year. Like
yes.
towards the end of the year, didn't have an answer. And
And-
this guy,
and how Gardner looked last year and how Anthony looked and how the Colts played. I think
Yeah.
they played a lot better than most people thought they were going to.
he looked better than I thought. Which it's a small
Yeah,
sample size.
it is, but it's boomer bust. If you want to
Yeah,
put your
yeah.
eggs in that basket, you might be rewarded handsomely.
Well, look at the around him too.
He
they
does.
brought Pittman back.
Pittman.
You love
I love
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
you some Mitchell.
Josh Downs also
Yep,
a very
yep.
good receiver.
And they got a full year of JT to help take pressure off him.
JT. They got Jelani Woods, who's 6'8".
Huge.
I don't.
He's a monster.
On the Pat
Monster.
McAfee show, they always talk like, "Why don't we use this man more?" He's 6'8", and you can just throw
Well,
it to him in the end zone.
I think it was only a 2-tutty game, but we actually went when the Chiefs and Colts played 2 years ago.
Yes.
He had 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
I think they reached the 1 yard
that was
riding.
the start of McAfee
Yeah,
loving him.
yeah.
Actually,
Okay,
that
there
was
you
the
go.
start of it. I I
he won
remember
him
that.
that game, and they were just unguardable
Yeah.
like catches. It was amazing.
I mean, if you're 6'8", you can just throw it up there,
yeah,
dude.
yeah, yep, absolutely.
You don't have to have a crazy vertical. You can still just go get
you're
it.
that. You've got an 8-inch advantage on
Yeah,
any
I mean,
corner, so.
honestly, all you have to do is like every red zone package that man should be in.
Yep, I agree.
I don't see
100%,
why he
and
wouldn't.
he might be.
Yeah.
The only drawback with Richardson's rushing upside, I wonder this year, and I might be wrong on this, but I do not believe him and JT shared the field at all last year, and the rushing touchdowns, a fully healthy Taylor, and this might be a good thing. You know, not getting beat up down in the red zone.
It probably is.
I think so.
Although I do love his touchdown celebration. It's the best in football, and I want to see it.
You mean Richardson?
Yeah.
I guess I was thinking
He does
Justin
a
Jefferson
he
does
does a
some, but-
360 spike.
Oh my gosh,
It's
Okay, I
awesome.
gotta see. He got to play more than 4 games. So I can
Yes,
see it,
he does.
'cause I don't
He did it
remember.
a few times last year, but yeah,
Okay,
it's awesome. I
Oh,
just
so-
want him to score just for
Yeah,
that.
I think his average points per game last year, which is small sample size, but he was like top 2.
He was,
top 2
yeah.
quarterbacks. So he got a lot of rushing touchdowns.
I was
in that
very
place.
surprised with how good he played.
Yeah,
at the
I was
beginning.
too. Which that's the other thing we've been talking about. Look great, such a small sample size, you don't know. And when defenses have seen him more, we'll see. To round it out, though, Jordan Love at 8. And this is who I've got.
Yeah.
Not consensus. I'm high on Jordan Love.
I agree with it. He finished last year, I think, number 4 overall in
Yeah.
fantasy.
Yeah, yeah. He was.
You know, AJ Dillon just went down. That
Yeah,
might,
you're right.
That might just take. He might rush a little more.
he might. I do like Marshawn Lloyd.
He does.
got in
I
the
do
back.
like
We'll
Lloyd
get to
there.
that later.
But I think Jordan Love, he's got a lot. He don't really have the wide receiver one, but
No,
he's got
but
a lot of very good
They
receivers.
attack with quantity.
Yes.
You know, they've got
They
4
don't
or
go
5
quality, they
receivers
go
you're gonna
quantity.
see. Yeah, and you
And
got a very
I
good
believe
tight
in him
end.
being able to throw it around, and I think there could be some rushing there with him.
And I like Luke
do.
Musgrave at tight end too.
Yep,
Like not
yep.
just the receivers. Yeah, and I agree. He's actually pretty athletic. Like he might run a little
Mm-hmm.
more. And he actually, I think, might have fringe top 5 upside. I really do.
I do.
like Jordan Love. I wish we had our Packers.
I tell you
here.
what, I wouldn't be afraid to put a bet on him to win MVP.
That's intriguing. I'm not gonna lie.
I wouldn't be
that-
afraid of it.
Yeah, no, I could see that. And that'd be pretty damn good odds too. I'd say
Mm-hmm.
right now. I'm pretty far down there. I got Joe Burrow. I'm lower on him. I got him 9. Number 10, I didn't know where to go here. I went Jaden Daniels and Brock Purdy. I don't know.
I mean, that's a tough one there
It
too.
is,
On
it
10,
is.
you're really falling off.
I agree. I guess tier-wise, I'd probably stop at Burrow and those guys to start the next
Yeah.
year.
If Burrow's healthy, you know what he can
If-
do.
yes.
He's got the studs. He is a stud.
I saw that Chase is going to play week 1 too.
Yeah, Chase just started
Chase is
practicing.
gonna play. Higgins is going to play because
Higgins plays. You know, they still got a number.
I'm trying to think of who their third receiver
They
just
got
out of the
somebody.
draft.
Yeah, they got
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah.
I looked it up earlier, but I cannot
They
remember.
drafted. Yeah, he was like a 3rd-round pick. He's basically going to replace Tyler Boyd.
Yes. Yeah.
They've got weapons. I'm pretty high on their backs. Chase Brown, Zach Moss
Yeah,
combination.
I like that combination.
Really,
Chase Brown,
Really
U of
good.
I.
Yeah.
Hope he does good,
I
obviously.
would love to see that. I would. And I would. Burrow, it's not a total knock on him. It's more the health that I'm worried about.
I'm a Burrow guy, so I definitely hope he
You have-
goes big.
You have him higher than you think? Like, would you value him?
I think he's probably about right.
So you're kind of agreeing with my further back half.
Yeah.
It's the beginning.
Yeah,
We'll
the
get back to
beginning.
that.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Oh yeah, we'll flip back. Jaden Daniels, Purdy. I'm probably gonna go Purdy because you've seen it. The weapons. Do we even have to talk
Daniel's
about
almost on that AR style. If he could,
Yeah.
like he
He
could
scares
really,
me as he's smaller and they don't have a good O line.
yeah, he could be
Rookie
RG3
quarterback.
though.
But yes, the rushing upside alone is worth a gamble.
Yeah.
Like I've seen him compared. Like you mentioned, RG3.
They got Scary
Lamar
Terry
Jackson's
there.
speed. Yes, and he's a good deep ball thrower.
Yes,
Daniels
yeah.
is. That could be a fun combination.
They got rid of Dotson. So I
That
don't
was a
remember who
weird
else.
trade.
Yeah,
They-
that was really weird.
They got a 3rd-round pick. They gave up Dotson and a 5th-round pick. They got a 3rd and 2 sevenths.
I thought the
but-
Eagles done well there.
Well, but they traded the Eagles in the division.
Yeah.
And the Eagles already have AJ Brown.
Yeah,
and
Dotson just can go be a number 3 there, but
Yeah, and thrive.
and just nobody has to worry about him because you
that-
got the 2-headed monster.
Yeah, absolutely, and that kind of plays back into Hurts. That's another
Mm-hmm.
weapon for him, like argument as number 1 quarterback there.
Yeah.
Is there any other sleepers? Like Williams is intriguing.
Williams was
Caleb
the only
Williams.
one I was going to mention because
Yeah.
the Bears, really did a lot to put around him.
Oh, they did.
They
did.
did.
They did right by number 1 pick.
Yes.
They
did not do
solidified
right
the
by
line.
Justin Fields, but
No,
they did right
no,
by Caleb
no.
Williams.
Yeah,
they
sorry,
that
Justin.
fell into their lap and they did the right thing, but yeah.
You were their experiment with a very talented high pick quarterback, and they figured out to fix that.
Yeah.
With the Dunze, Keenan Allen
Well,
bringing
they
him in.
retooled the line too, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They
Yeah.
actually have
That's the
around
biggest.
Around a top 10 rated line.
When in doubt, work the trenches.
Yes, absolutely. That wins football games.
Yeah.
Yes. And protect your investment. If you're
Yes.
going to take a quarterback top 3 pick, don't kill him.
Yes,
Don't kill him.
exactly.
Rams fan, Sam Bradford. I'm sorry, they screwed you.
Andrew
But
Luck.
At least, yeah. At least both of these
That's
gentlemen.
even worse.
That was a generational talent that just gave up, beat up. So, at least they got paid.
Yeah.
Both of them,
Yeah,
at
they
least
did.
they got
They
paid.
did.
But I hate that because Andrew Luck, that's
Andrew
another
Luck could
day.
still be playing.
He could have went down as one of the greatest quarterbacks ever.
Yeah.
That's very disappointing. So, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to circle back to the top of this quarterback conversation so I can explain my Mahomes love for this season.
And I can explain why I'm off on it.
Exactly. Love it. So, we'll be
All right.
back.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop. At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville.
Carson Auction Realty is the one-stop shop for all your real estate needs. With over 40 years in business, Carson Auction Realty is the only company in the area that offers public auctions, real estate brokerage, and certified appraisals. If you're considering selling your farm, home, or commercial property, give us a call, and we can assist you in every step of your real estate sale, from pricing your property correctly to properly marketing to find any and potential buyers, and most importantly, selling property for top dollar. To contact us, go to our website, carsonauctionrealty.com, or call our office at 662-4911.
And we are back.
All right, we are back.
Wabash Nation.
Yes.
So I got to work on my transition skills a little there.
Well,
But
we're doing something we don't normally do. I'm running from the iPad here. It's new to me, so there's a
Technology,
little bit
man.
of issues. That's why. So,
We'll get there. We'll get there.
but let's talk. We're gonna talk here on the Chiefs. So we're,
Yeah,
you're the
back to
Chief.
my number one.
You're the Chiefs homer.
Look at it.
I'm
Rep
not
them well.
necessarily against them. I don't hate them,
I'm
but
a Chiefs
I've
fan by
got
default.
I've
Thank
got
Kroenke.
some issues with them this
Okay.
year, and
Well,
so
see, my precedence for putting Mahomes number one this year is the perfect storm, I think, for him this year, okay? Their weapons they've got now. I know you're not a big Worthy guy. I'm not saying he's going to be a slam dunk great pick, but he complements this offense well. Worthy and Brown. And I'm going to tell you what, Mahomes is the only Chiefs player I really recommend drafting where they're going at in that ballpark. I'd maybe Pacheco, depending where he falls.
Pacheco could be.
But like we talked about earlier, this is more of not a quality but a quantity of the weapons they're throwing out there. Hear me out. Okay, you've got your deep threats you did not have last year. MVS, all he can catch is a cold. He can't catch a ball. He's allergic to it. I don't know. Problems. But you've got Brown. You've got, Worthy on the outside. That's your deep threats. Rasheed Rice somehow is not going to get suspended this year.
I don't know.
I think will be next year because of our justice system being very slow.
I don't know. The Juju signing makes me wonder.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. They did just sign Juju, but I don't know. What I've read is he's not due in court until December, and at that point in time, look where you're at in the season. And it sounds like the NFL won't step in. But even I'm banking on him there. Kelsey, I don't like him for his own value in fantasy, but for what he brings complimentary-wise with him, Rice. Now they've signed Juju.
I'll tell you what with Kelsey, if you want to stash him for the end of the year.
Yeah.
I know nobody's going to do that, but
If you have a fantasy playoffs, like off of the actual playoffs,
yeah, you're going to be good there.
Yeah. But I don't see much out of him. But what I'm getting at, they've got their intermediate weapons. Pacheco has looked pretty good out of the backfield catching balls too this year. Mahomes, I think, has more rushing upside than he gets credit for. No tutties last year on the ground. He's good for 300-400 yards, okay?
Yep.
I love the weapons. Now, if you look at going forward next year, I'm probably off Mahomes. Because Brown, 1-year deal. You just have Worthy there. Kelsey, he might retire.
Yeah.
I don't know where that's at. Rashee Rice might get suspended. Don't know on that. This is the perfect storm for him being your number one quarterback this year with his weapons, and also he wants to prove it. They won the Super Bowl, but guess what? It was because of defense. He had a terrible year. He's one of the guys I think wants to prove a point. I don't think, yes, they want the three-peat, but he wants to get back to being Patrick Mahomes' best quarterback in the NFL. So that is why I have him number one.
Okay.
I'm ready for you.
Now,
Rebuttal time.
I don't think that Mahomes is going to fall too much. I don't think he's number one. I think Hurts, Allen, Lamar has so much rushing potential that
I get that.
I don't see that one happening. My issue with Mahomes, you think that the receiving core is very good. I think it's mediocre, not much better than last year at all. My thinking on that is, number one, Hollywood Brown has been going downhill, keeps going downhill. I put a take on our TikTok where I said I think he's washed. Somebody's like,
How was that, Matt?
somebody said, how could he be washed if he's got, it's just because of injuries. Injuries have ruined worse or better careers than Hollywood Brown.
Yeah. Well, he could bounce back. That's 50-50.
He could bounce back.
He could. I don't think he's washed.
But
truthfully.
he's not been near as good since he left Lamar.
Yeah. I think
My thoughts with Worthy are this.
This is going to be good.
So, how many times have we seen a player who was second, third round grade? He was a third round grade before he ran his 40.
Yeah.
How many times has that player been vaulted in the first round and actually panned out?
John Ross III of Cincinnati comes to mind because he number 9 in that draft and he did nothing.
Yeah. I can only think of one man
that has
vaulted himself into the first round because of his 40. That worked out. CJ 2K.
I was thinking receiver. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah,
just
back,
in
yeah.
general.
Yeah, I'd have to look into that. I really don't
That's
know.
the only
but
one that I can think of. So if somebody wants to throw one out there,
Absolutely.
I'll admit I'm
Yeah.
wrong, whatever.
Help us out. We're not
But
experts on everything or much.
Worthy had a third round grade. And I've got a lot of points I want to make on this because I was thinking about it earlier. First off, people were going nuts. Why would the Bills trade with the Chiefs? They helped him out get a receiver.
I was one of those. I was a
I
little
don't
confused by
think
that
the
tactic.
number one, first, they don't know who they're trading for. But number two, Worthy probably wasn't on the Bills' board. He was probably still a second to third round pick
Yeah, could be.
for them.
Yeah, I think they needed a different type of receiver.
They
too.
wanted to get Coleman,
Yeah,
and
they did, yeah.
Worthy is 5'11", 165 pounds.
Yeah.
He is not near as skilled as Devontae Smith.
I can't really argue that. I was
He's
a
not-
Texas
he's not-
fan.
he's
I
not the
liked
route
him in
runner.
college, but the other thing is
He didn't win a
like,
Heisman.
No. Oh no, he's not as good as Devontae Smith. No, I was even skeptical of Devontae Smith. Honestly,
Yeah,
going
I
first
was a
round like he
little
was.
bit, but I could see his route
guess-
running was so crisp
Yeah.
and good that I thought he'd shake anybody.
I kind of liked. We've both talked about this. Kind of like Mitchell better, but
I like Mitchell better. The stats
I don't-
are closer than you think on them.
Oh,
They're
Mitchell had him on the tutties.
the 40 time even.
Oh, the 40 time.
It's closer than you think.
Yeah, that's really
Mitchell
close.
is 6'2", 205. We're at a 4.33 with a 40-inch vertical.
Wasn't there something that only was it DK had put up numbers like
Yeah,
that or
yeah,
something like
it's-
that
it's
for a
closer
receiver
to
that
that.
big and that speed? Yeah.
You say the fit's good and they needed the deep threat. They're trying to replace Tyreek. Nobody's
have got burned on
Tyreek.
that before with
Nobody's
Hardman.
Tyreek.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
And the
Nobody
thing
got
is,
9 babies
everyone
floating
says
down there either.
Mahomes makes the receivers good, but
Yeah,
Tony
we've seen
failed.
that.
Sky Moore has failed. He focuses on Kelsey and maybe one more guy. That's fine. Mahomes is
Yeah.
great, and I'm not. This isn't a saying Mahomes isn't good. This is
Right.
just my
The
thoughts
supporting
on
cast,
the supporting cast is for fantasy. It's Mahomes, it's Pacheco, and late Kelsey.
Yeah.
I would not trust anybody else.
I agree with that. I really do.
Worthy, and my thing with him is you said the fit. I think if they would have drafted Mitchell, Leggett,
Yeah. I do like Xavier Leggett. He's a
Coleman,
monster.
even
I would have liked that.
somebody
better.
like that.
Yeah.
If they would have drafted one of those three, I'd been like, oh, we got some issues.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I like that.
This is bad.
I guess my thing is I'm trusting the
think
Chiefs.
you're trusting
Coach
them,
Reed.
but
I know they've been wrong before.
They've been wrong.
Who hasn't? In picks.
They've been wrong on receivers that they've drafted a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not Patriots level of wrong, but they're
right.
wrong.
They've had a few misfires.
Yeah.
I think even like I said with Worthy out of it, I don't think Brown's washed. I don't think he has to be that number one anymore. I think
But
I
they
think they're
don't-
gonna be a good complement of weapons. Is where I'm at with it. Who do you like better between Mahomes' weapons and like Josh Allen, for example, this year? Because I'm pretty. Wait
Well,
and
we
see
know
on
what
that.
happened with Josh Allen's weapons, though. That's different.
Yeah, well, I'm just comparing the two of them. And here's my thing on these other three quarterbacks we're talking about. Jalen Hurts really tailed off last year, had a nagging calf injury. Okay, they got Barkley now. I think they're actually going to go away from a lot of these rushing touchdowns. Maybe
I
I'm
don't
looking
disagree
negative
with
on
that.
For the better of him.
But by God, he can throw to A.J. Brown and Devontae
Yeah,
Smith
yeah.
all day long. And is Goddard still there? Tight end?
Goddard's still there, and
Yeah.
they just got Dox.
And they
So
got
there's a lot of weapons.
they got Jahan
Yeah.
Dotson. Barkley can still catch it.
Yeah,
You know, his weapons are way
they're
better.
better than Mahomes. I'll give you that.
Mahomes' weapons is
I like Mahomes better than Hurts, truthfully. as a
well,
quarterback,
yeah, I don't
but-
disagree with that. But like Mahomes' weapons, if you take Kelsey, you know, for what he is, he's probably going to come up later in the season.
Yeah.
I think they're like bottom tier, bottom half of the league,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion.
See, I guess that's the difference, and so I'm much higher on them.
Yeah,
I think they're top 10 this year.
I-
Back end.
I'm just-
sorry, they're not high, but they're enough with him to be very good for fantasy.
The only thing that does, and also I will throw this out here, the Chiefs don't have to do crap
that is
to
fair.
win
That's
their
what worries
division.
me. That's what worries me. Yeah.
So that is something I would think of in fantasy
Yeah,
because their
that's fair.
division is awful.
Yeah, that's
it's
fair.
terrible.
It's one of the worst in football. and
Like
that's what
you
worries
don't
me about
realize how
them.
bad it is
taking the
because
foot
of
off
the
the gas.
Chiefs are
Yeah.
in it. It
Yeah.
is awful.
I'd like to say we'll see what Vegas does under Pierce, but I truthfully don't have much faith there, even with Uncle Rico.
They should be better, but I mean, they don't.
Yeah, and the Jim Harbaugh, Herbert, we'll see.
That's gonna take
There's
a bit.
optimism,
That's
but
gonna
I
take a
think
bit.
so. That's why you don't see him anywhere near here.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, too. He's got a revamped O-line. I guess all three of these running quarterbacks, I think their rushing upside's not where it has been. Josh Allen, hear me out on that, is because I think they're going to try to protect him more. I don't
I
think
could
they're
see
going to
that.
have him. I think James Cook, really high on
Yeah,
their running back. when we get to it.
I think Cook's gonna run it.
Yeah.
They really switched that up last year
They
at
did
the
towards
end of the year, and that's when they started winning. And yeah, I don't think Allen's gonna be running as
No,
much.
and which is a good thing for him.
Yes.
I think, and their team.
I think Allen can still put up some numbers.
I think he might get a slow start with the new. It's all new.
Yeah,
receivers
it's
there,
all
a
new.
lot, and that's why I'm a little down on him. He's great. Josh Allen's great. Not ripping him.
You got Kincaid who might start off and be a stud.
Yeah, you got Shakir was there.
Shakir was there.
Yeah, you mentioned Coleman. Like there's-
Dawson Knox is still
Curtis
there,
Samuel
and he
is there, too.
can catch touchdowns.
Yeah, there is the upside.
Cook can hopefully catch better than he did the last few games of the year.
It's cold Buffalo.
But you know he can catch out of the backfield. So
No, but on Lamar, are you a little worried about Derrick Henry taking some rushing upside from him? I kind of am. You know, I think that
I don't
they're gonna,
think it necessarily is going to be as big as that.
Okay.
I think they have made Lamar the focal point of that offense
Yeah,
and him
that's fair.
running. I don't think Henry changes it that much,
Yeah,
honestly.
okay,
I
okay.
don't.
Would you say the top four then, though? You could kind of make a case and interchangeable.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
you
they
put
are
Mahomes
interchangeable.
four? Okay.
I'm not as down on Mahomes. It's more his weapons.
Yeah, I get that.
That I
So
just
that's where we
don't.
differ on that.
I just think his weapons are too hype. I seen
Yeah.
somebody say Xavier Worthy was going to win the Rookie of the Year.
No, it's not. I'm a Chiefs
I
fan.
that blew my mind.
Did they know Marvin Harrison Jr. is?
Caleb
rookie?
Williams
And-
is there.
yeah,
Marvin Harrison
Daniels,
Jr. is the focal point of his offense.
think he just- that
Malik
week put that
Neighbors,
one out.
even though he has Daniel Jones throwing, is the focal point of
He's
their
still
offense.
so amazing. He may make up for it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you know those guys are the offense for
Yeah,
their teams.
yeah.
Is Worthy's not.
We probably better move on to running backs, but that's kind of
Yeah.
where we stand on
Do we
quarterbacks.
wanna take a break?
No, we'll just real quick give you guys something to think about. We're gonna on the running backs. I'm gonna give my rankings. Just run them off real quick, and we'll have analysis after the break.
Yes.
Sound good?
All right.
All right. So now keep in mind on all these rankings. These are mine. These are not consensus. This is what Woody's thinking. Woody's been wrong before. You know, rarely. Just don't ask
Yeah,
me
just
why.
look at the MLB stuff.
Yeah, that's yeah, never mind. We're moving on. Hopefully, I do better on this. Well, I got CMC at the top. I think that's pretty unanimous. Brees Hall. I've got him over Bijan. I went back and forth on our YouTube episode. I was thinking
That's a
Bijan
close
because
one.
Texas, but some reports about Algier being worked in a little more. And I really think that with Aaron, I'm on the Jets train this year. Good
Yep.
O-line. I'm going to give him the edge, both studs. I got Jonathan Taylor at 4. Him, Barkley, and I had Gibbs. Kind of interchangeable. I was Gibbs, Taylor, Barkley, but Gibbs' injury, his hammy, I've dropped him a little bit. I'm a little worried
I
about
could
that.
see that,
It's
yeah.
it's recurring.
Yeah.
So, Taylor, I think I'm high on the Colts. Their O-line, very good.
Yeah,
We discussed.
I
enough
think
about
they're going to be
Richardson.
pretty good this year.
Yeah. I like him over Barkley. He's younger. I don't rip Barkley necessarily. Like, this is the first year he's got a legit football team around him, I'd say, in a while. Better O-line than
He doesn't
he's
have to be
had.
the focus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He has help.
Yeah.
And
he
they
has
might,
a lot of help.
they might score them 1 or 2 touchdowns a game.
Yeah.
So that's a good pick. He's had some injuries. We'll see. I could see it working well in Philly, but I'm going to keep him behind Taylor, in my opinion. I put King Henry ahead of Gibbs. I really like Gibbs. I mentioned the injuries. King Henry's old. Normally I wouldn't touch a 30-year-old running back. But
He's a freak of nature.
it's Derrick Henry. He's borderline. We're talking Otani being a freak in baseball.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's got a case for that,
Yeah.
too. Okay, I said Gibbs 7th. This is where that's kind of a tier up there.
Yeah, that's a different tier.
You agree? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, there we go. Then I've got ETN leading off this next tier.
Yeah.
I like ETN. I think the Jags offense could be better this year. We'll see.
They should be.
He's their primary back. I've got him 8. Now here's where I'm higher on some guys. I've got Pacheco 9. A lot
Agree
of
with
reports.
that.
Okay.
I agree with that.
He's a beast. He runs like he's pissed at the world. He's fun to watch. You don't need vision when you just hit the hole that hard.
Yep.
So, I've got him 9. Sounds like he's going to have more third down work too, catching the ball. I've thought he's been good in years past. Don't know why they haven't more. So, here's my big one. I got James Cook up at 10.
I agree with that too.
All right, there we go. He's
Yep.
like around the 14, 15 range most. I love what you saw close to the end of the year with him last year. He was more of a focal point. Super quick. That playoff game against KC, I'm telling you, I was every time like, don't dump down to him. Don't dump down. Thank God he dropped that
Mr.
one.
James Dalvin Cook.
Oh, yeah. For you guys
gosh.
on Wabash, we had Dalvin Cook. He was Dalvin James Cook.
Yep.
And now James Dalvin
Just check
Cook.
out the YouTube, check out
Yep,
the shorts.
yep.
That it's pretty hilarious.
Good job, Mama and Papa Cook.
Yeah.
Very creative. But I'm a little lower. I got Kyron Williams at 11. I'm a little lower because I really like his backup in Blake Corum and injuries. I got Josh Jacobs 12, Joe Mixon 13, Achan, I'm down on him at 14, and Kenneth Walker the third at 15. So think
All right.
about it. We're going to take a quick break.
Yep, we'll be right back.
That's right.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank. We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
When a Fairfield fire truck needs a repair, Cam's there to keep things rolling. And as part of the volunteer fire department, Justin's looking out for Cam and all of Fairfield. Everyone supports each other, and Wayne White Electric Cooperative supports them all, with safe, reliable power for every one of our members. It's why REMCs exist, and together, it all works.
Give me all your lumber. Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas,
What?
you better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
All right, and we are back.
Welcome back.
So we left off at the tail end of the top 15 running backs. What do you think on those top ones? Would you switch any of them up any different? Like CMC, I think you have to take
CMC's
him.
number one for sure.
Yeah, there are injury concerns. It's CMC,
there is.
but it's like if you don't take him number one and he is CMC,
Then you're
an idiot.
You're an idiot.
Like, kind of got to.
The only guys that could have his upside is Bijan and
Brees. That's what I'm
Brees, and
thinking.
a healthy Gibbs could.
Yeah, and I agree. The only thing with Montgomery there, he does take away a few rushing touchdowns from him.
He does.
Because
towards
they're
the
trying to make up the long game.
towards the
you
end
know?
of the year, it was heavy Gibbs.
Yes,
and
it
he,
was.
He
You're
was
right.
absolute
and he's a hell of a
stud.
receiver too.
Yes,
he gets
yes.
a lot. You know,
that's
PPR,
why. That's why I put him in that CMC and Bijan because they are great receivers too.
Yeah.
They can really just fill up the stat sheet.
And
Brees is also like he might be the best runner out of all of them.
He
Honestly,
might be. He's amazing.
Last year I got rid of him to the team you were co-managing because as soon as Rodgers got hurt, I was done with Brees Hall. I was super high on him until then.
Yeah, you look at what he did with stack boxes all the time.
Yes.
Well, the guy you got back in that trade, James Cook, we're very high on him.
Yep.
Think alike. But yeah, I don't think he has that upside. I'm intrigued what Barkley does in Philly. The thing
it's intriguing because they're not, this is by far the best team he's been on. They have so many weapons there that it could work out pretty good with Barkley.
I think his efficiency is going to be way better than it has
agree.
been. We'll see.
They can't stack the box.
Though. No.
That's that's bad.
That's big with running backs getting, where they are a big part of the offense, but not the whole offense.
Yes.
With what he's been. So I think that could be these other guys, that's kind of our tier.
James Cook could possibly be in that tier for me.
He could if they're willing to give him that workhorse role.
If what we seen at the end of the year last year is what the Bills are going to be, and they probably should be, then he has really high upside.
If they want to not get Josh Allen killed, then I think honestly if they do cut back in his rushing chances inside the 20, I'll even say, a little more to Cook. Cook wouldn't use much inside the 20. That's what hurt him. If he does more,
and you look at the way that roster's set up now without the receivers too. It sets up for him.
It does. He's one that I'm targeting in drafts. I am. Anyone that drafts with me, I didn't say that, but yeah. Past him though, I think these other guys a little less upside. I'm intrigued with Joe Mixon in Houston. I don't like Joe Mixon the player, but the opportunity.
I don't think it's there. I'm not in on.
Is so good. What I'm wondering, because they're
you
not
think it might
use...
be this what we said for Saquon because the offense is so good that they're not going to be stacking the box and he's going to have lots of opportunities. But he's not near Saquon.
No, he's not. I'm talking the next tier. He's a guy that like third, fourth round. What I'm looking at because the touchdown upside, that offense, their O line's improved. Houston's with Stroud, they're going to score.
Yes,
they're going to score, and they're not going to run Stroud.
Yeah.
He's going to get a lot of opportunities. They gave him money. Houston paid him for a reason. They're going to want to protect Stroud down low there. I think he's going to get a lot of chances to score touchdowns.
He might be a touchdown monster.
Yeah,
that could definitely happen.
Josh Jacobs, got to give our Packers guys.
I might be higher on him with Dylan going down.
That's fair.
That might put him up in a couple more places.
And they've got a good offense too. They really do. I'm intrigued by him. The guy I'm the lowest on is Devon Achane. Talent is there.
His injury risk is rough.
Oh, it's bad. I mean, he even in college, he's fought that. He was actually part-time in college. He split the backfield. Mm-hmm. And, him, Mostert, that leads me to a point in a sleeper. I love Jalen Wright as a sleeper. I've said on the air, I believe he could be the best back in that backfield end of the year. He's a freak athlete out of Tennessee, very fast, bigger back. I'm looking at him. You want to talk some sleepers at running back now? Feeling? I like Blake Corum as a handcuff.
Corum's interesting because Williams definitely gets hurt. Corum is. I don't even remember who their backup was last year. I think I picked him up a few times.
Oh my
because of that reason. But
Corum
is a very, very good backup.
I started to say Cam Akers, but that was before. No, it
was after that.
But he's a heck of a handcuff. Trey Benson's intriguing in Arizona. Connor, older back. Chase Brown. I'm super high.
Chase Brown, I think, would be a good pickup late in the round.
Maybe a U of I homer pick, but the guy was.
I'm trying to think of some more handcuffs. I was gonna say obviously Jacobs and Dillon.
I don't know if he counts, but old Uncle Rico down in Dallas, Dowdle.
I think that's a sleeper pick. Not just a handcuff. I think
that's the best back.
Yeah, I think that's the best back. I think Zeke
ate
is
too much fried chicken.
Yeah, I think Zeke
got to pasture.
Zeke as days as RB1 is long gone.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not Henry. He's not King Henry.
Absolutely. I was trying to think handcuffs to Tank Bigsby in Jacksonville.
I don't trust him at all.
If you want Tyler Algier.
Oh, I will tell you the one. Seattle.
Oh, Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah,
that's not even high enough though.
That's not even a handcuff. Almost.
No, he's a sleeper.
more
There's some draft
it might
capital in
more
him.
be a 50-50 split there.
I
And
wonder
Walker's
that.
good, but Charbonnet was
Chardonnay's
very
so
good
good out of
last
the
year.
backfield receiving
Yeah.
too. He is.
Yeah,
That's a good one, but I think he's more sleeper.
Yeah.
Right? He's got some standalone value. You move on to receiver now?
Yeah, let's
Keep
go
this
to
baby rolling?
receivers. These are my favorite people.
Yeah. Who don't want the awesome ball? You're the awesome ball whacker for golf. Awesome ball catcher seat. There you go. So,
I always go receiver
Yeah,
heavy.
well-
Every time.
here, you want my list right here?
Go for it.
Here we go. All right, these are Woody rankings again. CeeDee Lamb, number 1, and he just
got paid. So,
Bro got paid. He's
yeah.
going to be there. What else they got in Dallas? The Jake Ferguson.
They ain't got much.
The offense runs through him.
Yeah,
Hands
they got
down,
Brandon.
it does.
They got Brandon Cooks.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
But it's the Braden Cooks of, if this was Braden Cooks at 6 years
Yeah,
ago.
it would be
He
different.
slowed
but
down. Yeah,
to
he
still,
slowed
yeah,
down.
they got to have somebody at
Gallup
two.
got out of there. Yeah, I think Lamb standalone, a lot of value. Got to go Tyreek number 2.
Yeah,
He's still
Tyreek, you
catching
know what
balls,
you're
having
going to get
babies.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
he's going to
is
be
a-
fast. He's going to have babies, and
Yeah.
he's going to he'll have monster weeks, and then he might not show up.
Yeah, and you've always got Tyreek with a limp with something. They said his thumb, I think, had a scare already.
He's always
It's
hurt.
Tyreek.
It's Tyreek.
He likes the drama.
He's so fast he can't help it either.
Yeah, right. He's. I mean, I don't care for the guy personally, but for fantasy, yeah. I like it. I got Amon-Ra. Here's where I differ. Okay, here we go. I got Amon-Ra St. Brown, number 3.
He's pretty steady.
He is.
He's just going to be the most steady guy, I think.
Especially if you're in a PPR league, he's a target.
PPR would be
monster.
huge.
He's a baller. The
Yeah.
dude lays it all on the field.
Now, I will say, I know you. I know this is because of receiver.
It's a little bit.
So that he's a little higher, but
I'm influenced by
Amon-Ra deserves to be higher. He
still got Justin
is
Jefferson at 4,
he is
so,
a
you know.
monster. Justin
He
Jefferson's
is
a good one
offense.
too.
Yeah.
I know people have concerns about who's throwing on the ball, but
Jefferson, yes.
here's the thing. Garrett Wilson has been
Yeah.
fantasy relevant for the last 2 years with Zach Wilson throwing
If
the
he
ball.
got by Zach Wilson,
So
yeah.
my question would be this: if you're looking at this, would you take 90% of Justin Jefferson versus 100% of whoever else you're looking at?
I'm gonna go Jefferson 9 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jefferson.
Yeah.
So
And
that
he is
that
the
would be
focal
the
point of their
that would be the
offense,
thought. The
know.
offense does have a lot of weapons, possibly.
Well, possibly. Hawkinson's gonna not play till week 6,
Yeah.
8 range.
Addison said they said he'll
he's
play
good to
week
go.
1. Yeah,
But Jed is their guy.
and
we'll
he's
see what
just
Darnold
Justin
does.
Jefferson. You just
Yeah.
I mean, you see the catches he makes.
And I don't have much faith in Darnold. This is his best opportunity, best receiver.
is,
he's
it
played
is,
with.
and-
we'll see. That was the
He's got a good offensive coach
Yes,
too. There
yes.
versus Carolina and the Jets that
Was
he
it
had.
Kevin McCollum? Is that his name? Is that right?
Yeah,
he's O'Connell. I'm sorry.
Some of
Kevin
these
O'Connell.
coaches should get a lot more crap for ruining their quarterbacks. I'm just saying. Between Adam Gase
You're
and
absolutely
whoever the
right.
guy was at Carolina, not saying Darnold's that great, but man, some of these guys.
Yeah, they ought to earn their pay. A
So-
little more. It's bad.
Anyways, number
I got-
5 is
yeah.
Chase.
I actually went AJ Brown.
Okay.
Now I did hear that Chase today. He's back.
Yeah, he
He's
started
back.
practicing.
So I'm a little intrigued. The other thing is
You worry about injuries more than anybody I know.
I really do.
I
play
know
fantasy
that. I know
enough,
what you're
get burned
going.
by
I
him.
know what you were getting ready to say. I'm worried about Joe Burrow's
Burrow.
injury.
Yeah, and also AJ Brown with Hurts. I mean, he's now the other thing that take into consideration is the Dotson trade. I don't know if that'll take much from Brown. Honestly,
I don't think it will.
These guys are both so talented. You flip.
Yeah,
the coin.
it doesn't.
They're
Yeah, if you're gonna
beasts.
get Chase or Brown there, I don't have an issue with putting
Yeah,
Brown over
yeah.
Chase. It's
It's personal
Chase,
preference.
I almost said Chase's upside's probably a little greater, but I don't.
AJ Brown has some weeks. It's just
He
stupid.
does. He does.
And they both have
I feel-
almost a fair amount of competition from targets.
I would feel better. I think Chase is probably safer.
Might be, yeah.
I think
Chase
that
might
would be the
more
difference.
consistent
He's
week to
more
week, maybe.
consistent. Yeah.
Brown though has those pop off weeks,
Yeah.
so that's a toss up. Here's the thing though, Garrett Wilson might surpass both of them.
Garrett Wilson could be an absolute
Yeah.
monster this year.
I've got him
That's
7
for
right
sure.
now. It's a deal where I'd probably take these guys over him, not to look stupid, but Garrett Wilson with Aaron Rodgers this year, sky's the limit.
He's the number one.
If Aaron's healthy, the Achilles is
Rodgers
intact.
is healthy. He's still
intriguing.
that arm is still there.
Yeah, it's still there. Oh yeah.
They got Brees Hall. They're
got
gonna
improved
have
O-line,
the
too.
running, but
Yeah,
Mike Williams, is he ready to go yet?
Well, he might be, but that might change by week 2. It's Mike Williams.
Yeah.
So,
But
Garrett
I
Wilson,
think that could help.
I guess I'll say Garrett Wilson's in the best situation of his career.
Yes, he is
So,
by far.
I really like him. He could have higher upside. Could have top 5 upside.
Yeah.
I got Puka Number 8, I think he's their alpha now. I love Cooper Kupp. Love
I think
him.
so too.
But I think it's the Puka show. Him and Stafford had a special connection. They looked for him. McVay, it checks a lot of boxes. Really like him. Round out the top 10, I got Marvin Harrison Jr. all the way up at number 9. You like that?
I like that.
You like that? All right.
I think he's the focal point of their offense. They are going to target him. We've said it before. Kyler zones in on one receiver. D Hop's down there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's going to be
D-Hop,
Harrison down there
yeah.
somewhere.
A younger version of him, and he in college, he could run any route.
Yeah,
he's
a stud. He's the son of a Hall of Famer.
Pretty good teacher and dad there.
You know what you're getting.
Absolutely.
Put some money on him to be Rookie of the Year too.
It's
it wouldn't
probably
surprise
not the
me.
best odds, but I would be all over it.
I don't know because
he's
it's
gotta be a favorite,
it's so rookie. Well, I think it's Williams.
Okay, that makes sense. He's up there.
The quarterbacks get more love on that kind of
True.
stuff.
Yeah,
but
they do with everything.
Yes.
MVP, all that. But I got Mike Evans around the top 10. He's steady.
He's
Eddie.
he's just going to do it.
You know what he's going to do.
You know what he's going to do. It don't matter who it is.
No. At quarterback.
Baker's fine at quarterback
the
too,
Baker
honestly.
Show, he shown something last year. He really did.
Baker got screwed over by the Browns. That's another one
That's another coaching deal.
They should not have let him go. They should have kept him overpaying Deshaun.
I agree, 100%.
I think the team overall would be better.
I really do. I don't think he got the fair shake there, but you know what? It is what it is. Moving on there, I guess the thing I'm lowest on is San Francisco target. It's nothing against them. It's just the mass quantity they've got.
We still don't know what the IU contract situation is.
Yeah, I've heard they're getting closer, but you hear.
Then I heard Pittsburgh's still trying to trade for him.
Yeah.
It's just it's a mess.
I've got him all the way down at 16. Ayuk. I've lowered him because of this. Because if he goes to Pittsburgh, I don't feel great about it.
I don't think it's going to hurt him all that much.
Maybe not, but when you've got names like Chris Olave, Devontae Adams, Drake London, who I'm higher on this year, DJ Moore around him, I put them over.
I could see that. I don't know.
It's other guys I like.
I tell you what, nobody's going to like this. I don't know about Devontae this year.
Dude, no love for Uncle Rico? No love for Uncle Rico?
I just don't know.
Uncle Rico, the only thing is I will say for
if Devontae has a bad down year, it wouldn't surprise me. How about that?
I could see that. I really could. I've got him at 13.
Yeah.
Kind of bounced around here. Well, real quick, I'll do 11 Debo. I've got Chris Olave 12, Devontae Adams 13, Drake London 14, DJ Moore 15, Ayuk 16, DK Metcalf 17, Nico Collins 18, Amari Cooper 19, and Jalen Waddle rounding out the top 20.
So, no Devontae Smith.
I had him like 21 or so. I wasn't super low.
So,
it's kind of the quantity of weapons there because you also now have Dotson.
That's true, but I don't think Dotson takes that much away from them. I think
know.
he's just going to be the third receiver that just doesn't have to do much.
I could see putting him like maybe around the Nico
I think Devontae should be higher.
Okay, I can go with that. How about you say we take a break and we'll then finish up our receiver talk, do tight ends, and I guess you need a defense and a kicker?
Maybe.
You'll see what our opinions are on that. So,
all right, we'll be back.
Tomorrow, some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance. We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Peggle's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Peggle Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
All right, and we are back to try and wrap this up. Okay, so we left off at receiver there.
Yeah.
Somebody's favorite position.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
It is
So
exciting.
there's lots of. You know who I don't remember you putting there?
Other than Devontae Smith.
Michael Pittman.
Yeah. Boy,
that's a pretty big omission there.
Good call.
I just thought about it. That's pretty big.
Could have been a Woody overlook there.
Yeah,
it does happen. Ask my wife.
I think he probably needs to be. He's probably in that
top 20. That's my bad.
He's probably in that Devontae Smith or Adams area.
Yeah, I would
think.
probably slot him. I'm a little higher on Devontae Adams. Because, the way that, thank you for mentioning Pittman, the way that Minshew used him, locked onto him. I think last year, once again, watching receiver, they're going to really try to throw the ball to the guy they're paying a lot.
Yeah.
And I think Uncle Rico can deliver better than Jimmy G.
Yeah.
I think Devontae's
we're talking about these two guys, and that's the guy Uncle Rico was throwing to last year.
Yeah, no, that's kind of ironic.
But yeah, I think Pittman definitely needs to be in there. He was a stud last year. He got paid.
Yeah,
he got paid too.
And I
AR,
like their quarterback.
He could be boom or bust, and if he's gonna boom, Pittman's gonna boom with him.
Absolutely.
I think Mitchell could boom with him too.
I could see that as he would be one I'm thinking sleeperish.
Yes,
yeah. We'll touch on a few of them. Drake London, I'm a little higher on. I'd probably put.
I think London.
14.
Yeah,
Love
I think.
London,
Yeah, just because we still.
Oh, we got Captain Kirk, dude. We got the chain down there.
I know we got that, but they're gonna be throwing to Pitts and Bijan though too.
Yeah, but he's had Desmond Ritter as his quarterback.
Oh, I know it's been bad.
I think,
but I think the offense is gonna be a lot more balanced.
I could see that. I just think that will make him that much better. He's very talented, big body receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I'm high on Pitts. I'm high on all their weapons. Truthfully, they've got a good O line.
I'm higher on Pittman than London. I will say that.
Yeah, that's fine. I think I'd put him.
That was a pretty big omission there,
yeah,
boss.
that does happen from time to time. I knew looking at this, like, I missed somebody.
So we want to go to some sleepers, receivers that we talked about.
Yeah, you're good with the rest of it though. Like you said, Smith a little higher.
Yeah.
I like Amari Cooper, and I don't like Deshaun Watson, but by gosh, he likes to lock on to his number one, chuck it to him, even if it's ill-advised. So,
sleepers. Just off the top of my head, I don't know how much of you want to put him as a sleeper. I think he'll probably get drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Tank Dell. I think will be pretty good this year.
I agree. Houston, I guess I'm a little down on their weapons as a whole. Nothing against the individuals, but the mouths to feed there with Stephon Diggs there.
But I trust
Collins.
Stroud to do that because even if you look at his college career, look at the wide receivers Ohio State has had.
No,
He's
you're right.
supported
It's been
all
stupid.
of them.
He had Garrett Wilson.
He had Olave, Wilson,
yeah.
and there was another one that year.
He just had Harrison, didn't he?
Harrison,
Yeah,
I think, was the year.
No,
Harrison, was the last year. Yeah.
Yep. Last year he was
so
there,
I mean, Stroud has shown that he can support
He
it,
can.
and
I guess
I
if
wouldn't
you're
be
talking
scared
around
of
the
it.
30 range, I'm fine with
Yeah,
that. I do like him. I like Zay Flowers because the opposite we're talking about these guys. I really like Zay Flowers.
He probably should be in that list too. Like,
A lot of these
the
guys were
receiver
right
is so deep.
Loaded.
Honestly,
Flowers
is the number one though in Baltimore.
Yep.
I mean,
think you could make an argument for guys from probably the 11 spot through 30 spot. You could make an argument to interchange a lot of those guys.
Yes.
Like you could have Pittman as high as 11. You could have him as low as honestly around 20.
Yeah.
Like there's so many talented receivers.
Flowers could be on. He could be higher up even than that. And he wasn't on your top 20.
And Neighbors is another one I didn't put on because
Neighbors
Danny Dimes is terrible.
Danny Dimes is terrible. I made this point on our fantasy football mock draft.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Dimes has not had a receiver like Neighbors
he hadn't had him
ever.
Like him. No,
ever.
Absolutely. We were like, Odell was not there.
No, Odell wasn't there.
No.
That's
fair. Let's
Malik is going to be their offense.
Yeah, he is. And
So-
he might be too good for Dimes to mess up. Too.
Yeah.
Like, he was amazing. At
We've seen these guys, these receivers that are so good that they even a not great quarterback still supports them to have pretty good fantasy seasons. And I could see Neighbors still
like
being
him
that way.
right after that top 20. I really like him. Some deeper guys. Okay, I actually give Gibbs some love. Xavier Legette. I think he might start slow.
I think Legette will be slow, but
he's a beast.
He's a beast.
I'm intrigued to see him a few weeks down the road. I like Joshua Palmer.
Palmer should be the number one in San Diego.
Should. I like him and Ladd McConkley.
Yeah.
I don't know which one. Well, their skill sets aren't really the same.
No, that helps, I think.
And everyone's throwing Herbert out. Like he's still
Herbert's still a stud.
He's got an arm. He is.
I would not be afraid of Palmer at all.
I wouldn't either. No, he's a guy going super late too.
Did that Reynolds from Detroit go there?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
It was Craig Reynolds. Yeah, he's there, but I don't think he's going to hurt much.
But he's good. He might be a real far down sleeper.
Yeah. Khalil Shakir, Buffalo.
Yeah,
that's the guy.
That's a good one.
You could throw it at Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Shakir. That's the guy. I think he's got a rapport already with Allen. I'm not saying he's going to win you your league, but we're talking sleepers, deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Throw a dart at him. I like him.
Stash him on your bench.
Absolutely. You think we ought to go to tight end you and give them some love?
Yeah, let's give some tight ends some love.
We're not going to go as in depth with tight ends as we have these others. For one, all right, my personal preference, I usually don't go first, second round after the top.
Yeah, I don't ever want to take a big name tight end.
A lot of times I wait. Sometimes this year I kind of like this mid tier here.
Mm-hmm.
I really like if we're looking at the value of Kyle Pitts.
Pitts, everybody's waiting on Pitts. I almost put Kincaid in the next tier above him.
Well, here we go. I'll run through them real quick. I'm sorry. Laporta's at the top. I think
Highland, Illinois own.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kelsey. I'm off the Chiefs bandwagon finally. Here we go. We'll put some Cardinal love back on there. There we go. He's the best tight end in football. I'm going Laporta 1, Kelsey 2. I wouldn't draft Kelsey this year because of a lot of things we've already mentioned.
We've already said it.
What if he checks out for a while? The Chiefs at the end of the year is when they need him.
Yeah.
Not through the regular season.
Yeah, the Chiefs don't have to play that great.
Nope, they don't. Well, and they don't have to use him. Why get him hurt?
No.
They just drafted Jared Wiley as a potential replacement to him. He's a very talented tight end in his own right. So, stay away. I really like Trey McBride.
McBride was very good last year, and he could have a big year.
Do you agree with me then having him over the likes of George Kittle and Mark Andrews at number 3? So I've got McBride.
I think I like it because, other than Harrison, they don't have anybody else.
Right. They've got, like we mentioned, Wilson. We mentioned Zay Jones suspended. You're right. There's
Murray,
not a solid number
once
2.
he came back, he really zoned in on McBride.
And that's the thing here with Kittle. I love Kittle. Dude, once again, receiver. Sorry. Watch the show. Love the dude.
Kittle is awesome.
He's my favorite tight end.
Kittle's probably the best tight end in football.
Yeah, but here's the problem with George Kittle.
If you don't look at offense, George Kittle's the best tight end in football.
Here's the problem with Kittle. He said it on the show. He doesn't care if he catches the ball a game. He cares they win. He will block his butt off.
Yeah.
He's a football player.
Yeah.
We're talking fantasy. So, with all the weapons they have, with the style of play he is, I'm a little lower. I still have him as 4. I'm not low on him, but I'm probably not going to draft him.
If you're sitting there looking at some of these mid-tier receivers versus Kittle, I'd probably take the receiver.
Yeah, because I think that as you get later, like a Kyle Pitts, a Kincaid, because of their situations, could have higher upside.
There's a lot of mouths to feed there in San Francisco.
Yep.
You're going to have the Kittle ball game where he goes off.
But the consistency of it.
But, they don't. It's whoever they need to feed to win the game is who they're going to feed.
Yeah.
I remember they talked about in receiver the game, when they started going on a losing streak, that game was a Debo game.
It was a Debo game. Yeah, they said, this is who makes us run. We're feeding him.
They're going to feed.
3 touches.
Yeah. Well, no, in the day when he got hurt, they lost that game, and it started a losing streak, and they said that game was a Debo game.
Yeah, that's
and they had a hard time adjusting that.
Yeah, absolutely.
From their game plan.
He was the game plan for that game.
Yes.
You're correct.
Yes.
Yep. I got Mark Andrews down at 5. I'm a little lower on him this year because there's already
the injuries with him always concerned.
And this guy over here,
hold on, I'll just wait. Hold on, the guy over here,
that's
usually here.
Yes,
he
sir.
really likes the handcuff of Likely.
Yep, he loves Isaiah Likely.
He does.
He might smash his phone.
Yeah,
if
you look at our shorts or our TikTok that got 7,500 views, he may have destroyed his phone.
Yeah, the shout out to whatever box held that phone because it shouldn't have survived.
So who got next?
Here's my favorites: Kyle Pitts at 6, Kincaid at 7, Jake Ferguson at 8. I love that range of tight ends.
I think Kincaid's the best there. I
can see that.
I think Kincaid's gonna actually be the number 1 receiver in Buffalo.
I could see that. Him and Shakir. I don't know, but if you're put in the context of his value as a tight end, that's amazing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
necessarily like Buffalo has even said that they don't consider Kincaid a tight end. They just consider him a receiver.
Well, that's what I like with Kyle Pitts.
And-
Atlanta's already moved him out.
Yeah,
as a
I
receiver.
think
Like,
Kincaid's going to have a big year.
I
Like,
agree. I agree.
If he ended up tight end 2, it wouldn't surprise me
I could see that. I could see
at
a
all.
path for that. Like if he
Maybe
leapfrogs.
behind Laporta.
Yeah, yeah,
is
I think
what
so.
I think.
Laporta's the only one I'm slam dunk. That's his
Yeah.
spot he is. And I think Pitts
Also could have a
that
big,
upside.
big year.
If
I mean,
Kyle Pitts crashes this year, I'm never freaking touching him
you
again.
know the talent
I'm
is
never-
there. He's
Yeah.
finally got a quarterback.
Have you been burned on him a few times too?
I have
Like,
not.
I'm pretty
I've
passionate.
never took the Kyle Pitts.
I've had him 2 years. It's
I've
not
never
great.
done it.
But by God, fool me once, shame on
I
you
generally
twice.
just go pretty low on
Yeah,
tight
yeah,
ends.
yeah.
I'm
Well-
gonna get one of the top 10 guys, and that's about it.
I said I'd never draft him high again, but he's not going high this year.
He is
I'll
going
think
lower.
about it, and
And
love
I
me
say
some
that, and I
Captain
took him in our mock draft.
Yeah, yeah,
But
I know,
I thought the value was too good to
Kirk.
pass
You know
up.
what? I just said I would take Kittle and I had him in the mock draft. So, you know, it happens. That was also a panic
Yeah.
move. But to round it out, the top 10, I had Evan Ingram at 9. Brock
Evan Ingram,
Bowers,
I think,
yeah.
is who I had last year, and I had him as my backup, and I ended up playing him
He's pretty solid.
the whole time.
He's pretty solid.
T-Law seems to really like him.
Yeah, he does. And I mean,
And he's
they don't
another
have
guy,
Ridley.
like, they almost played him more receiver towards the end of the year.
Well, no, they lost Ridley, and I think
Sure.
that might give.
Well, they
brought
lost
in Brian
Zone-
Thomas.
Jones, too.
Yeah, they brought in Brian Thomas, but
Now,
he's more of a deep threat.
That was forgot him. He's a rookie.
Yeah,
and he might be
I'm
a
sorry.
sleeper.
I think Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
I kind of like him
That-
better
that-
than Gabe Davis.
yeah.
for sure. Actually, I know you like Gabe Davis.
I've had Gabe Davis a few years, and
Yeah.
last year, I mean, I'm telling you, he was better than Diggs. He was
Yeah.
not the Gabe Davis that was just
Yeah.
hit or
He
miss.
was a little more solid.
He was pretty consistent there.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, what do you think about on tight end number 10, Brock Bowers?
I like it.
yeah.
I mean, Browers, we know the talent's
Oh,
there.
it's stupid.
It's so
If
good.
he would have been drafted anywhere else,
You
I
know-
would be way higher on
Yeah.
him. I don't like the fit, but I like the reports what they're going to use.
But I don't. Yeah, I mean, the fit isn't the best, but I also think talent doesn't matter as
Talent might
much.
override that.
And you know, they got Adams. I think he might have a down year, and that's one of the reasons
That's where you were
I think
at,
I think he might is because I think Browers is going to
Okay.
be pretty big.
I could see that. As I was kind of worried, Michael Meyer they took in the second round, I believe, last year. I'm like, you have 2 tight ends. You have not
He's
great
a little
quarterback,
more
blocking.
Blocking.
You're right.
And I tell you what, Bowers may do also what I've said a few times here. They may just play him more as receiver.
Yeah, that's a possibility. He's very versatile.
Yeah.
He really was at Georgia. He's a stud. So that's really all I got on tight end. You could sleeper, throw a dart at Rodgers guy, likely.
Yeah,
So-
throw a dart on Luke Musgrave too.
Yeah, Luke Musgrave. I do like that.
I like-
Packers. They have
I
a
like-
lot of weapons, but tight end positioning can be a stud.
Yeah.
So we're going to take about 20 seconds here to wrap up our kicker and defense
Yep.
thoughts. We're both in the same opinion. We take them super late.
Yeah, I
Last
never.
2 picks.
Yeah, this last 2 picks.
Do you stream a defense? That's what I do.
I try to if I can.
I said one league
unless
last year.
I can luck into a good
Yeah,
one. I've had
yeah.
that happen a few years where it's
Well,
like, oh, okay.
What I like to do is a lot of times teams that have bye weeks, they'll drop a very good
Yeah.
defense like week 5 or 6. I'm like, oh, cool. There's like I got Baltimore in the league last
I
year.
was thinking last year I had a good one and then I had dropped him and I'm like, oh, please let me pick him up
Yeah.
again, and I somehow was able to.
Yeah. But that's where we're at on kicker.
Kicker, Justin Tucker. I guess I don't hate picking him up.
That really
Aubrey's.
depends on the draft. Him, Butker,
Yeah, it
those
depends
guys.
on how the draft goes.
But I like
Butker
doing-
and Aubrey are the only two that I could see that.
Aubrey's stupid.
I had
talented.
Aubrey last year, and it was he
they
he
said-
won me some weeks. He won me a lot of weeks. He was big on my comeback to almost make the playoffs.
Well, it helped because the Dallas offense stalled out a lot.
Yeah.
They'd move the ball, stall out, and he can make like a 70-yard field goal. I was reading something in training camp. He was practicing like on the 50, kicking them. That's stupid. Soccer player?
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
So my thing is for that, find a kicker on a high-octane offense without stupid draft capital.
Or
Go for
find a
that.
kicker that's not on a great team that's not going to score a lot. Is not like they're going to stall out.
That's fair. You can think about it that way. I want to move the ball a little bit. But yeah, that's fair. And that's about all there is thought process on it. We don't put much value into that. So on defense too, one I wanted to point out, defense special teams, Tank Dell, if he returns kicks for Houston and you're scoring.
That
for
could be a
special
good one,
teams,
yeah.
I hope for his sake he doesn't. Sounds like injuries. But if he does,
Dude's had a rough
look at
last year,
that.
I'll tell you that.
I think after a broken leg he wouldn't return punts, but hey, we'll see.
And getting shot.
That's fair. That's a good note to end it on.
So we're going to be back next week. Our plan right now is we're going to have a live draft on YouTube.
That's
So
right.
you guys on YouTube that's watching, be prepared for that.
gonna be crazy.
We've made a league. We're getting ready to get it all set up. So whenever
think we
we're
know a little
live,
more what we're doing than
live
last
next week, we're gonna have a live draft. So
Absolutely.
be ready
So
for
tune
that.
in, and thank you guys for subscribe, watching on Wabash.
All
we
the
appreciate
things.
all the support. So you guys have a good evening. Good night.
Peace.